happened to input the correct code.
Wait, am I no longer
By
live?
sheer luck. Amazing.
Oh,
He
hang on.
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What happened there? Says it's unstable. What happened there? Okay. Weird. Let me guess, this leads to a lot of monitors. You can follow stream on the phone, but not on the tablet. I don't know. Anyway, how did your Ganryu filming go? I agree.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It
Not
was
like
a
you to be
stirring
filming
of
tech and
emotion in
stuff,
his
huh?
chest, as though he felt more
Am I
free to
actually
think for
live right
himself.
now? Are you guys
He
seeing
questioned
this?
the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, good. You
Stanley walked
played this
straight
a lot,
ahead through
Gray.
the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh shit. Well, I'm gonna find out. I want to see what happens.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Just once.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah, fuck it. I want to see what happens. I'm probably buggered.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley,
Wait,
cried
what?
the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
But I'm still alive.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
What is going
exactly did the
on?
narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I guess,
When
monitors.
every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
No, I don't see that. It's the end of the game. We finish it, is that it? the office. It's just a museum of like office pictures. The end is never. Oh, I know. This is sort of just like being in a real life museum. It's so realistic.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not.
I'd be too freaked out to play this.
Cannot be seen.
Is this a horror game?
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I wanted to see what happened. I found it really bleak. Yeah, it's quite bleak, isn't it?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
I don't even know if I'm doing this
Checked over
right.
his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
That portal vibe of no one else is around. I know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I guess I'll do what the guy says this time and find out.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
He might
Coming to a staircase,
find an answer
Stanley
there.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's in here? Business strategy shooting a panda on the head. Can I go up? This lift is taking a very long time. Maybe it just goes on forever. I don't think this is going anywhere. What happens? Oh, it didn't take me. It just pretended to move. Right, okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned.
Do I get to find out what
discover
happens, or is
no
it just an
indication of
existential
any
crisis?
human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind pages.
Yes. Okay, good.
Desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk.
Hey,
What
Spaghetti,
could its
with the
purpose
raid.
be?
Thank you.
In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below
you.
his feet.
You want to try
And
me,
so the
guy?
How's it
boss had
going, the
assigned
Spug
it an
raid?
extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad.
How you guys doing? Spaghetti, Amy, Nem,
By sheer luck, amazing.
and Izzy.
He
How's it
stepped into the
going?
newly opened
We are playing the
passageway.
Stanley Parable for the first time.
Pain, no gain.
There is indeed no pain, no gain. Hello, everybody. How's it going?
How about you dare lick my balls?
How about you dare like my balls, indeed? How your
Stanley
what were you?
walked straight
How
ahead
was your
to the large
stream?
door that read
Spaghetti
Mind
Man?
Control Facility.
And it's let me guess, monitors. Monitors.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
What kind of Doctor No ass bullshit is
Did he have
this?
the strength to find out?
It was good if we played the original, but don't get spoiled on this version. Ah, is this not just the same one? This is the deluxe version.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally
Doctor
monitored
No.
his face.
They changed a lot of things. Oh, I don't know. Something happened to 234 up there.
This mind control facility
What is
was
this?
too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
If you're new here from the raid, then welcome in. I am a variety streamer and play a lot of Smash Ultimate as well.
With his boring job, that his emotions had been manipulated to
And this is the first time playing this.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't.
601
accept
got
it.
fired.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad.
Hey, Twiddly.
Or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
And I don't know how to do that. Is there a big old button that just says dismantle controls? What if I press something? You've played this, right, Twiddly? Dismantling the controls, huh? I adore the game. Good. Must be in the big room over there. There's a... Yeah, this is some Doctor No James Bond villain, evil lair. Isn't
And
it?
when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Well, something happened.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
There's something very
He had
claustrophobic
defeated the
about a game
machine,
like this.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized
And I get
none of this
killed.
mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
You guys hear the game okay, by the way?
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, It will be.
Oh, this is like where I just was.
That was all he needed to know.
It's a little quiet. It's actually on max
The
volume.
only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the
How about
open
that? Is that
door.
better?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Loads
The
better. Okay,
feeling
good.
of liberation.
Just tell me if it's
The
too loud
immense
or
possibility
too
of the new
quiet again.
path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley
Okay, good.
was happy.
A lot better. Okay, good. Well, I got 2 achievements for that. I bet it.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
What about you, Emma? You guys played this?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm assuming it just kind of guides you through all the endings. I'm not really sure. I'm quite confused
Yet there was
about
not a
this.
single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
I mean, it's kind of
office.
hard to say, isn't it?
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul
Try and
anywhere.
piss him off.
Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man
So
to
funny.
take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, yeah. Now that's my kind of music.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Nothing over here. Go down into the giant scary room again. All right. So it's just like
Stanley
a
walked straight ahead
lot of
through the
different
large door that
endings.
read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
It's James Bond ass bullshit. I realise I've actually not got a whole lot to say about this game, to be honest.
Now the monitors jump to life, their true nature revealed.
But let's try and get all
Each
the
bore
endings.
the
I'm
number of an
if there's not like
employee in the
1,000
building.
different endings, I'll try and
Stanley's
get the
co-workers.
majority of them, I guess.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
This is like my job. I do to people I monitor.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe, I mean... There's 24, but there's like a million ways to get each one. Okay.
No. He refused to believe
Let's try and get
he
some,
couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled
do the
with
opposite of
emotions.
everything he tells you to do in the next one.
Or
Okay.
sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this
I'm gonna press the
machinery
on
would
button.
never... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud
Take
your
that.
effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh, of course,
In
the
event that
auto
this machine is
self-destruct
activated
system.
Without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
Are there any other
But what
sort of
precious
games like
moments
this with
each
this
one of
kind of
them is.
atmos?
More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before
Yeah, I would
you're
like to know what
obliterated?
happened, actually.
All right, I'm in a good mood.
The secret
You're gonna die
formula
anyway. I'll
is-
tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Does he not ever get to go home?
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside.
Very
Or I
Portal
let it
inspired
burn
the
to a
Stanley Parable
crisp.
Ultra
I
Deluxe.
have to say this.
Yeah,
though. This
that's the name of the
version events
game.
has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything.
It was
and take
originally a
back the
Half-Life
control
2
wrested
mod?
away from you. It's quite rich. I almost hate to see
I've
it
never played
go.
Half-Life, ever.
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds.
My next game? Oh god, no, I have so many fucking games.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be
No,
doing
I'll
right
stand
now?
here and just, you know,
Or
I'll
did you
just let myself get
assume when you
fried
saw
to
that
nuclear
timer
crisp.
That something in this room was capable of turning it off.
I want to speed up the timer. I want to
Running
get
from
obliterated.
Button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones.
What
Or
is
maybe this
I've-
big
yeah, I've
red
never played
button.
Half-Life,
Or this
ever.
door. Everything, anything.
That one passed
something
me by
here
as
will
well.
save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Or it was also a Half-Life
But
2
here's
spin-off.
a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst. to keep
Yeah,
the
that's what
action
everyone said.
moving
It takes
along.
place in the same
It's just
universe, right?
seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
Yeah, it's gonna be
No
fun.
ending here.
Like a
Just
creation of a
you being
universe, just a big
thrown
bang.
into chaos. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Yay! We killed everyone! Right, so this one I've got to do... Right, Twiddly says don't do anything he says.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
That was different.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
Right,
doors,
don't do
he
everything he
answered that
doesn't
this
say.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Bye!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Oh, how
Good
unfortunate.
job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Right, Twiddly, was that what you wanted?
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Yeah, wasn't it? And he just simply plunged to his death.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Right, don't do what he says.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
That's one of the reasons, yeah.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who? Ah, fuck it, I'm going through this door.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one.
What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay, guys, this is... Ugh.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing
Oh,
of
shut up
him,
and duct.
and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I'm pressing everything but I.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
That's my office desk, isn't it?
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
This is just my office.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
And the next one on the moving platform, jump off onto the other walkway.
It barely
Okay.
mattered what lay behind each door. The mere
This is
thought
creepy.
that his decisions would mean something was almost too
Do you guys call this a
wonderful to
horror game?
behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Ugh.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Game with a baby?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Let's see what happens if we wait. Things happening.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Weird. I'm stuck in this
Just
office
a
forever.
step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through
If you
this
enjoy
door,
this, play the
I can
demo.
make it
It's
through
completely
them all.
different and really funny. Alright, Space Dog. Yeah, I'm here. I don't think my alert went out.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How's your journey going?
Yet there was not a
Playing this for
single
the first
person
time.
here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
I would
to
go
his
downstairs.
boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Yeah,
He
I
might
do
be
too. Don't
fined
worry
for
about it,
that.
Stanley.
And in such a competitive economy, why
Right,
had
this
he
is just
taken that
repeating.
risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished.
They're going good, luckily.
His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence.
Gosh, a
in
headache
single
thanks to a
moment
passenger in your
for
bus.
no
What
reason
happened?
at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why
Aye.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually
It was a
gone.
bus transfer at the
He
second
wasn't
last
going
stop I had
lose
to go
his
through.
job.
Oh, right.
He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
Oh, this is hurting my brain.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a
I'm
dream.
gonna have to wait 30 minutes for my
How could it
train
be?
to arrive.
Was Stanley simply
Where
deceiving
are
himself,
you?
believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice.
Oh, dude, this is
speak
like a
these words
nightmare
has
I would
been a
have,
shock
just
to
walking in
Stanley.
these endless rooms.
After all, he knew
Brussels,
for certain,
oh,
beyond
okay.
a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
How far is that from where
So
you
he
live?
closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
90 kilometers or so.
My life
That's
is
not so
normal.
much.
I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No, I'm still in this hellhole.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
So this is nightmare fuel? This is totally a nightmare I've had.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
That's almost my name.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this
Oh, is that
particular
Stanley?
day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled
What
for
the fuck?
that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
How charming.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
What does that mean? What does that mean? I'll be going, this is pretty data intensive. Don't worry about it, Space Suck. It's a lot to watch streams on like your phone just using data, so don't worry about it. Thank you for coming in. Deluxe edition content.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
God, imagine all DLC was announced like this.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
It probably is. That's it.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. Ma'am, how was your... If you're still there, how was your gym session today?
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Just a white room. Just a white room.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
The jump circle?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I want to see what happens if I use all the jumps. And then I break every bone in my legs. That's it. Part of the Blue Gel control group. Yes! He's part of the control group for Blue Gel.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping.
It's just
Is this what
elevators and
passes
jumping.
for
That's
exciting
Portal.
new
That is
content?
Portal.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
Yeah.
Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes.
Is this the orange
I knew
gel?
There had to be something
Orange
else.
gel.
Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Guys, please send them don't send them abuse on Twitter. Don't do it.
I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks.
We'll be Trice,
Just
real
you and
name,
me
no
having a
gimmicks.
great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I don't say anything. It's different. This is
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
This is not my office. Find them on Twitter.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing
is this
all
a
my
Norwegian
favorite
sauna?
memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember
They're actually
back in
making fun of you
October
for playing the
2013,
re-release.
when the game originally launched. Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I know because it happened.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game
That's like
ever
Spaghetti's
created.
London
That's
accent.
how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Oh, I know. New elevators. The only two games, Persona 3 and Skyrim, yeah, exactly. The only two games that ever existed.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
It wasn't perfect, it
didn't
was 9
need
out of
anything
10.
else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
I've only played one of the two games in that case.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
These would be the bad reviews.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Ooh.
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
You do talk a lot. What's the name of the narrator? Just, we'll call him
This is actually quite shocking for me.
Albert.
Well, to be honest, I have always thought of the game's dialogue as being
Exclamation
rather
point
terse
portal,
to begin
guys.
with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought...
I don't know,
it did.
Twiddly, did you see my new stream sound effect?
Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel...
Alright,
like
Fatty. Adopted
like I let
Fatty.
people down.
Fatty, no
Perhaps the
parents.
Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Kevin, right,
What's this
okay.
one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that.
All right
if
there,
I'm truly
fatty.
too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the
I know,
record.
Wheatley.
Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps
What, he really
less of a
thought,
rumination
Kevin?
and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Well, maybe if you...
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a
Just
single
like Red
person to
Dwarf.
speak with.
Alone for 3
And you
million
think
years.
that's just how it's...
Oh my god.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is...
He's not going to be there, is he? He fucked off.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
I hate
Where
that.
are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth.
This is going on to solo ship it. I hate this. Oh, I know. This is anxiety inducing. Maybe a door will just appear if I just go around. Well, that's what you get for having a skip button.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
You guys call this a horror game? I look behind me, there's gonna be something behind me, isn't there? What happened? Huh. Well, I'm gonna skip ahead. Yeah, I could see that. Well, I don't know how to climb out, so I'll just press the skip button. Aw, look, it's lovely. It's lovely here. This isn't scary at all. Oh, I'd hang out here. Oh, no, I wouldn't hang out here. I don't normally play horror games, especially not psychological horrors. What was that? Ah. The narrator's dead. Right, let's walk towards, I think I'll go this way. Shin Megami Tensei 5? Yeah. Oh, I like this music. Okay, that was different. Okay, that was the extra content, I guess.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
E.T., what is the meaning of this? I've just received this memo. If anyone, oh, that one is for people who went to school.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Can I, like, close the door?
Okay, I think we all...
Okay, the boss's office just disappeared. I'm out of here. I just want to say, this is the most depressing and bleak office I think I've ever seen. And there's a new sign there. Well, that was different. You are now leaving. Maybe don't see my office then. What do you do, Gray? The escape pod? From an office? The narrator's not able to help me now. My office is pretty lame as well. Database front-end developer. What does that mean when they say like front-end and back-end? What does that mean? I've never understood that. I don't know anything about it at all. Wow, this sucks. The front end is what users see and use. Well, I suppose that would make sense. That would make sense, wouldn't it? As I said, I don't know anything about it. What happened? How did I get this to open? That was like, I did something.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
What is this?
Good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
What is this now? Is this more skip buttons? Didn't we do this? Oh, no. Maybe I should not ask that about this game. Didn't we already do this?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
We just found the Stanley Parable 2.
Isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why there are so many possibilities.
Definitely late Spider. Yeah, I don't think my notification went out.
This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Für das, du zwei, du, four.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra
You guys
Deluxe.
agree?
What does it even
Ultra Deluxe
mean?
is a rubbish
But
name.
the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic
I hate
than
everything
anything
about this.
scientific or logical, really.
I'm alright, Space Dog. Spy, thank you. We get to see a bucket?
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Wow, this sucks. I hate this. I mean, I really, really hate it. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer
No, I want the
is
big
that
button.
they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Oh, don't do that.
Isn't that wonderful? Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Okay.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
We all know a person
I want
named
you
Jim.
to
I'm from
imagine
Scotland.
yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and
Please show
press
to
the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again.
Now
do
the
it
name
again.
Jim sounds strange as said too often.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time.
It
If
is
this
even
were the
funnier
only new
a
feature in the
second
Stanley
time.
Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I'll press it again.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Keep mashing it.
I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
It just went through the floor. Okay. Name, hear yours today. Jim. Shout out to all the Jims in the world. Especially all the old guys named Jim. We all know one. We all know a James or a Jim or a Jimmy.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Free, new, and easy achievement. Get it here. Well, free achievements. I'm all about that. Thank you for the bonk and the boink. Right, achievement time. It's gonna lead me to a violent and
Now,
gory
here's
death.
something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel.
There isn't going to be a
at last
sequel to
satisfy
this.
the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I'm just... Fine. Nothing. Go back to the merch stands. Bonk. Blink.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Ah,
Where are you?
collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines.
Oh, please, no.
And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Oh.
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Wow, I hate everything about this. I can't tell if you're like this, if you're having the worst time. No, I
God,
like
really
it. I
is the
suppose I
worst
like
when you
it.
collect everything in a video game,
QR code,
and then they
QR
give you a
code.
big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I'm blind, I don't see a QR code. Stanley looks fucking miserable. I would be too. Those screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
This is a bit shady, so I'll pick this one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Happy 12th birthday, step-niece. Oh, that QR code.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No.
Let's scan
No,
it. Let's
I've
scan
made
it
my
and see what
decision.
happens.
We're moving on.
StanleyParable2.com. Ah, it's a website. A real website. The button that says gym. The reassurance bucket. What's that?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's
Will
true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
Yeah.
must already be sweeping through your body.
Yeah,
And
I
in
feel so much better.
Can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
The reassurance
All this and
bucket.
more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can I just say I really hope there is, just for playing this for about an hour there, I hope there is never a Stanley Parable 2.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Well, I'm taking the bucket with me. It's mine now, bitch. Go to the endless hole. Oh, I like infinite holes. Come with me, bucket. We're gonna jump into an infinite hole. Oh, yeah.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite
Let's do it.
falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like.
Yeah.
A stunning leap forward for video. You see? Isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
No, maybe I want to fall. I'm gonna fall for a nice long time.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Nope, I am gonna fight a Balrog on all the way down
Rather
here.
the later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this
Peak
tactfully,
gameplay, I know.
but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to
You're
say
in
that it isn't an
extremely deep hole.
astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look,
So there's a
things
mug
got
here,
little
says
heated
new
there.
mug.
I think we both said some things
Meeting
we didn't mean.
at 2
Why don't we
p.m.
just put all this behind
2
us
in
and
bracket,
agree to
2 in,
just
like,
call
quote
the
marks.
hole mostly infinite.
No, it's not mostly
If that works for
infinite. It's
you,
either
then
something's
go
either
ahead and
infinite or
press
it's
the
not.
teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole, and we can move on.
No, I'm gonna stand
I'll
here.
just be up here when you're ready.
Nope, I'm gonna enjoy myself in my infinite hole. Nah, fuck it, I'll go this
Great.
way.
Now, I'm very
Nope,
excited
I'm gonna
to
go
show
down
you
all the way
how
down again.
far
No
heaven-
pain, no gain.
You see? I was right. The problem is you.
Thank you for the no
problem
pain,
is
no
that
gain.
you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
It's not as...
Did the hole seem even shorter to you?
Stanley
this
can't
time?
even speak, I
couldn't
know.
help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly...
Who redeemed that no
I
pain, no
didn't
gain?
make
I
an
wanted-
infinite
I didn't see who- it didn't come up for me
I
there.
didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up.
That was Spy, thank you.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less
Well, something is not mostly
I
infinite. It
suspect
either
that I'm
is or
starting to
isn't.
get the
Something
point
either has
where
an
it's no
end or
longer
it doesn't.
feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length.
You're a hole.
Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if
Yeah.
it gets any shorter.
Exclamation point portal.
Well, there it is. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching.
All right, Fatty.
Oh.
Adopted Fatty. Fatty.
You
No
just
parents.
do whatever it is you're here
And?
to do. Hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Yeah, I
Is
can't.
the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone.
I could just climb
you
out
get
of
to be
this.
with the hole.
You know what I mean?
get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
I could just
I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
I could just like climb up. You know, in real life, I would just climb up. There you go. We are with the hole forever. Are the walls gonna start caving in or something? I'm just gonna wait. Fine, I'll just wait. I get to spend my life in the hole forever. I get to spend my life in the hole forever. Goodbye, cruel world. No pain, no gain. Stanley's fucked up. Right, let's just go down forever. Then give you the evil laugh. Yeah, let's have the death hole. Blood ocean. Blood ocean. Do you guys remember that from Metalocalypse? Blood ocean. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Kinda horrifying, actually.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of
Oh, I was
dozed off
enjoying
there,
that.
drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that
I was enjoying that. I wanted to descend straight into the core of the earth.
So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole. And I'm looking forward to all of them.
Thank you, name, for the
Stare
hydrate.
at Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Can I get a cup of tea or something? You know, it's like hard work standing in this hole. What was your guys set to jump into the hole? Ah.
Here we are. Go on. Try out
Is
some
there
of
no
the
more
new
hole?
features.
Button that says gym. I want to go back to the hole. Does this just start all over again if I jump back into the hole? Ah. Say hi to Cloud and Buster. Nan, did you saw my photo of Buster this morning, didn't you? Buster had a tick. Kinda horrible, actually. Oh, I can't leave now? Wait, what did he say? Oh yeah, I'm glad you did. I hope people are enjoying this. This is a very strange game.
Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yes.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Yeah, the exit's there, but they've blocked it off. I've done all this.
But the secret ingredient is love. Damn it.
But the secret ingredient is love. Damn it. What's this? What? Did you guys hear that? Okay. Let's check out the merch. Yeah, the mic's back. Did you guys hear that? I don't know if that was me or if that was just a part of the game. Alright, can I get out of here, please? Can I not press the gym button? Is there no... I take it this wasn't in the original game then. Because I'd like to leave now, narrator. Oh, wait, here. Epilogue. Aha. Settings World Champion. Okay. The mostly infinite hole. It says mostly infinite now. OG is just running around the office. Yeah, this is all new then. I mean, I figured it was. But I'm stuck here now.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
I got the Ultra Deluxe because it was actually cheaper than the original version. I asked, I think it was Ryan I asked which one I should get, and he suggested get the Ultra Deluxe, so I got it. And now I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's see. personally prefer the OG for the simplicity, but this is objectively better. I can understand that. Investor showcase. I'm stupid. I don't know what else we've not done. It's just running around an office pissing off a narrator. It's really funny. Why is it like random numbers? It should just be like, it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just like Z, Q, B, 4. That's new. Oh. Maybe it's because this bucket. Can't I put it down? Maybe I have to go and put the bucket back. I'm really confused. I really don't like that there's no one else here. It's keeping me out. Set the button that says gym. I'll put the bucket. I'll see if I can put the bucket back. I can't put it back. How do I let go of it? Can't. Maybe I just have to force a restart. Yeah, we could just restart. Give me a sec. Yeah, well, I don't like this one. I don't want to have to do it all again, but yeah.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never
You tried
been trained
staying
for
in the
that.
closet? Is there a way to like keep track of what endings you found or something? There probably is. In the broom closet.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Understood. Your order will be canceled immediately. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Oh. Oh my god.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want.
Or to the
like
bathroom.
right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
All right, I'm in the bath. And I'm done in the bathroom. I want to try that one again. I want to see what happens if you press no.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
On, get me over there. I was like, there's no jump button. I'm still trying to like press everything I can. Fuck you, narrator.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
I'm gonna say no.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue
God,
on
he
your
talks
first
a lot, doesn't
playthrough,
he?
how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. Ah, a door opened. Reset and follow the narrator until you reach the broom closet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I just assume I just stand here then.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Does the game keep track of how many endings you got? I'd like to see if I can get them all.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I understand.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
The broom and I are friends, that's why I'm here. Yeah.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Thank you, Ryan.
Fatty. Adopted fatty. Fatty.
That was bad timing for that
I've come
raid.
to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical melody of some sort shut down your central nervous system.
Thank you for the
and
raid,
you
Ryan.
collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that,
This is
just step
Twiddly's
out
favorite
into the
ending, man.
hallway.
I'll just wait. Oh god, someone's messaging. Is there anything else that happens here, Twitter, or is that it? Keep waiting. Yeah, there isn't even anything in here. Are we just gonna stand here and wait still? Oh god, this is boring. This is a brilliant gameplay. Maybe if I leave.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
And if I go back in, maybe? Keep baiting him.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I think I fucked it. God damn it. Go up the stairs, then back here. Or like all the way up the stairs? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know.
Here's the door.
I have a feeling you're supposed to wait even longer? Let's try this one again. Apparently.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I somehow did.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think we missed something with this one.
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Right, I just looked it up and there is actually a proper ending for, like, the sequel. I don't think I ever saw someone just walk in and out of that room.
Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step
This
even
game is
further.
beyond confusing.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
to
what
be
people
clear,
do.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
I don't want to do all the features
I
again.
figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
If I go up here. Or attempt to go up there. Yeah, we're on the new content. Right, I can't go in there. Yeah, I am liking it. It's very strange. As to be expected. Yeah, we're back here again, because I'm pretty convinced there's something missing here. Now, why can't I exit? Why can't I exit? Wait. Is there another stairway over there? What is the settings world champion, dare I ask?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Yeah, I don't want to have to do all this.
Actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
There's another staircase up there. You have to change all the options in every language. It takes forever. Yeah, I saw that, but I didn't... I've not done it.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
I've just started, so... Why can't I do the settings world champion? Like, is this not something I can access? Okay. Now, we've done the hole. We've done, like, the infinite hole and stuff, and the achievement. We did that the last time. So many freaking doors, you can't open any of them.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right
Did you
now,
get the collectible? I'll go get it now. We started this one again.
I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have gamers. We hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Been here already? Okay. I'm an idiot. It's there. I am so stupid.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you
Yeah, I
think?
agree, actually.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But all right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yes. See, my Wi-Fi sucks. The stream doesn't. Oh. Oh yeah, that's annoying.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one
Did you do the
single
bucket? I did that in the
coherent
last
video
one.
game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Wow. That's...
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better.
I think that's the first time you've called me Ella, by the way. You usually call me Poison. Or P.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Payola.
Of course, with respect. With care.
No
for
one
the
has ever
vision
called
and
me that in my
integrity
life.
of
I
the
don't really
original
get
game.
nicknamed.
Would it possibly work?
There's my childhood nickname and then that's about it. My name's too short.
Really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
It just says the Stanley Parable 2. Oh, how nice! Right, start again.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
We've got balloons
All
now.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
My new
decided
nickname
to
is
go
El
to the
Gato,
meeting.
yeah.
Perhaps Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
The name is El Gato
Still
game.
no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's
my childhood
warmth and
nickname is
comfort
really
now
stupid.
more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
We did the broom closet, I think, but the game didn't end.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, hang on, I'll do this one first. My high school nickname was Beetroot, I will not elaborate.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication
I think it was
of any human life.
2845.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Hey, look!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Alright, yeah. My nickname as a little girl was Zella Bella. Which I think is cute, but no one ever uses it anymore. It was when I was a little girl.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
That's an
The
adorable
bucket is
nickname.
here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Oh, if someone wants me to do something for them, they just need to call me something like that, and I'll be like,
Stanley
yes,
and the bucket
ma'am.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind
Putty in your
Control
hand.
Facility.
Fucking Stanley.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Ha ha. Yeah, I had that as well, Twiddly. You're meanie. You're one of my high school bullies, aren't you? I want to see if I can
Jumped to
escape with the
life,
bucket.
And Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Do you guys think we should stream this multiple
I'd never seen
times? Like,
anything
or
like this,
once we
and
get all
it
the
very
endings, I mean,
nearly
there's
burst into tears
not anything else to
as
do.
Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's a fucking bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do
You ever
things
close the game
it
and
didn't
reopen the
wish to
game?
do?
No.
What kinds
Well, just
of
exit and go
things
back
does a
in?
bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's
It's worth it. There's like 20-something endings. I wonder how many we've done.
No! He screamed.
I don't
into
know
the
how to
bucket.
keep
He couldn't
track. I
accept
don't think
it.
the game keeps
His
track.
own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one.
Well, maybe we don't need to do
the
all the endings. I'm just happy to just have tried this out and seen what all the hype was about, because I had never played it before.
But here was the proof.
After this
The
one, I
heart
want
of
you
the
guys to tell me your
operation.
favourite endings and we'll go and do
Controls labelled with
them.
emotions, happy or sad
We'll do the broom
or
closet one
content.
again.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery...
There is an actual end of the game that you should get.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest
It was like
enemy,
Stanley and
freed
the bucket.
themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie,
Sneeze in
any
every
movie, but
country
then
on
stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence.
What's the
filled room,
creepiest ending, do you guys think?
lingering
Let's
in
get some horror going
uncertainty.
on.
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths.
This ending
not to
talks about being
part
free
with the
control, but you're
bucket.
literally doing as you're told.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms.
Yes, the one where it's
Not
like
while
infinite
this building
rooms.
has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
That's quite creepy.
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't
The
I?
secret ingredient is the
Stanley gulped.
bucket.
Very soon
Damn
now,
it.
he was about to find out.
No. Hey Mike, there's one that's extremely sad. I don't know about that. Let's
All of his
try and get
co-workers
as many as we
gone.
can.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his
Let's
arms.
do the bucket
and a
with
wave
the
of
broom
comfort
closet thing
rushed
then.
over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Hey, where the fuck's the broom closet? Hey Mike, welcome in. This is my first time ever playing this. What? What? There Alright, here we go.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Enter, and then you immediately exit the boss's office and the door's about to
Given
close.
the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
Is this the one you meant, Twiddly?
You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons.
What is going on?
Even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner?
I hope you guys
well,
liked,
I'd never. Go on, Stanley.
Portal, by the way, as much as I did.
Really tell the broom
when I was
closet
streaming it
off
the
for
other
its
day.
demeaning comments. Expand on the wide
Oh,
variety
it's not an
of
actual
experiences
ending, okay.
you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years.
Portal is great. It is great. I really enjoyed it.
Alright, Fatty. Adopted
I've got
Fatty.
you something which
Fatty,
I
Fatty,
think will
no
help
parents.
settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
I like the little GLaDOS at the end.
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
That it?
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
If you like Portal, have a look at Superliminal or Antechamber Trust. Okay. If it's in...
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship
God,
with
he
the
never
bucket,
stops
but now
talking,
the
does he?
broom closet is just giving us
If
the
a game
silent
has
treatment.
industrial
And to be honest,
hellscape
I'm
with
sick of the
ambient music,
pettiness
that's
on
my
display.
shit.
You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Wait, do I just keep waiting? Superliminal is really good. What do I do now? Exit the room for a moment.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the
Right, so it's not an
boss's
actual
office.
ending then. It's not an actual ending. I have an idea. I'm gonna press the on switch with the bucket.
Stepping in.
Wait, what was it you said? Enter, then immediately exit the boss's... Okay. Go all the way to the start. Yeah, I think we've done one like this, sweetie. Then bleh. Open the door beside his office. And it's like... Yeah. Let me go in here. You are now leaving. It's better with the bucket, okay. I want to know what this sad ending is. The one that, they mentioned. What was the sad one? Unless it's the one where you, like... The one where you run around the rooms going mental. Like, you go to the bottom of the staircase. Did you do the one where you jump off a moving platform yet? Yeah. I think there was one I, like, jumped off the platform. And then I think you told me to go back. Not to the catwalk. Yeah, we didn't do the one where we jump off the platform to the catwalk. Why can't you just go into the chamber? Yeah, that's right. Blue door, red door. I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that one. Stanley, it really isn't healthy to be so fixated on this bucket. Right, what's, right, how do we get back to that platform?
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Well, the bucket's gone. Go through the right door. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
yes.
And Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
Yeah,
by
totally
the
said just
employee
ignored
lounge
everything he
first,
says.
just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So we go onto this platform? Is this the one you mean?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Oh dear.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove
Oh, wait,
that
the
I'm
figurine.
on your side. Give me a chance.
I think I might have gone past it.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Another miniature Stanley figurine.
Don't go through either.
You know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, so don't go through either of them. I just wait? Or just go through the blue door? I guess I'll go through the blue door. Go through the one he told you not to. Okay, so say go through the red.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
A room full of monitors.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Will I go through this door, or will I ignore him again? What should I do? Go through it, okay. I thought if I ignored him again...
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Go through it again? I can't. Oh. I am stuck. I am stuck in here. Can I just look at it from there? No. Is this bug again? That's okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
No!
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Hang on, I'm going to do another one quickly. Right, we'll do that one in a minute. Just hang on. I'm going to do one more quickly. I hate that music. I'm doing the one where we go to the boss.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the
then
bucket
this time I'm going to press the on button
boss's
and see if there's still a nuclear countdown. Go to the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Then go back up the elevator? Or like go down and then go up again? Or am I going a different way? Or is it like a different elevator? What happens? You go up and down a couple times? Okay, I'll go up again.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing. Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life.
Number 3 is awesome.
Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator. Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
And then...
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
Yeah. May you have great time. Thank you. This is my first playing this.
Said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel.
But I really want like a bag of Skittles right now.
The bucket said nothing.
I don't think I've eaten enough today. I think my how many calories was I on today? 1,158. Okay, so do this again?
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator. Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another.
So how many times do you have to do this?
3 times, I guess. With this passion of Stanley's. The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket.
Just one more.
To communicate
okay, cheers, mate.
fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
I think I'm gonna have. Yeah, I think 1,158 calories is not enough. I should probably eat something else today. Not all that hungry.
Said Stanley. I know.
Yeah, I'm into calorie counting.
I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. it would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's.
This is not taking a
And it
long
would be
time.
through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Oh, this is different.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be
Oh my God,
refined a
it's a woman
single
laughing
measure
with salad.
further. When the big day arrived,
We love that.
Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
I love that meme, the woman laughing with salad, because that is me. That's so me. World peace, baby. Stanley.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
What on earth is going on? The dude who came up with pizza. That's Vinny from Vinesauce, wasn't it? Came up with pizza?
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent.
Oh, shush
And
and
so
dark.
it began
You're
that
not those
slowly, over
things.
many years, the two of them grew more and
Self-deprecating
more
jokes
distant.
not allowed in this dojo
They
anymore.
spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the
Name
obvious,
knows why.
that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit.
Is there no
the
more
mere
heroes?
silence that consume the space between friends.
Nem said I wasn't allowed to make any more
Stanley,
self-deprecating
having
jokes.
for once in his life discovered the warmth
Said you're not
and
allowed,
comfort
Ella.
of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Self-deprecating truths? I haven't got any. You don't say the truth, you only say lies. You spread lies in my dojo. See, that was sad. Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Right, let's do the one I want to do.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The confusion and the chaos
I am
all
good at
seemed
Tekken.
to melt away.
Yes, you are good
as
at
Stanley
Tekken.
embraced
See,
the
how
bucket.
hard was that? Now sit down and shut
Stanley
up
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
and let
entered
me
the door on his
use
left.
Burning Fist with Paul on you. Check out the whiteboard. This one? You do not spread. That's not a lie, though. Oh, yes. It says where the figures are.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Me who played FIFA on PS4 while it downloaded on a PS5.
Stepping
I'm the
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
Get in
human
line,
life.
ladies.
But Stanley
And
guessed the
men.
correct code by sheer luck.
Everyone,
Was
just
the
get in
bucket
line
all
for
along?
Twid.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
Okay.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
This game has got to be like a dream or something, right? He's just dreaming all of this. Right.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Right, we'll do this one and then we'll do that other one, the red and blue door one. Well, remind me how to do that
Lights
one.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
It's not the narrator that's not real, it's Stanley.
The monitors jumped to life. and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
See that achievement is just like
under the
8,
mind
8,
control
8, 8,
facility's
8.
influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want
What's
to
that,
do in
you
the
know?
first place? These questions.
BTF
raised
Selfless is now
furiously
playing
in
Tekken
Stanley's
7. Wow,
mind.
what a surprise. We don't talk
No!
about
He screamed into the
oh.
bucket. He couldn't
Uh-oh,
accept
okay.
it. His own life in someone else's control. Never.
That's how many
He
endings
squeezed the
there are.
bucket tighter. His one
8
friend in the entire world.
billion
At this
948
point, he could
minutes.
trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
I want to press the on
Controls
button. I
labeled
want to
with
see what
emotions,
happens.
happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket
Is it maybe
away
the
in
keypad
disgust
with the
when
8?
suddenly
It's the
an
8s.
image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
What?
Silly birds.
Silly birds.
The control buttons became active again.
Oh my god, there's birds. Oh my god.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind
love silly
control
birds.
facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Oh yeah, that's
The
my
mind
kind of
controls
place.
were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
Oh
Had the
yeah.
bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
Oh yeah,
Of
that
all
would.
the possible paths
That's
his
the
life
best
could have
one.
taken, this
That's
one
my kind of
was
ending. I would
surely
sit there
the
forever.
best.
I would sit
And
there
Stanley
forever.
was happy.
I'd sit there forever watching silly birds. Right, let's do the blue door, red door, and try not to make it glitch again.
How wonderful.
Do we take
Stanley
the
was alone.
bucket?
Finally. This is great, he thought.
Do we
to
take the bucket
himself.
with us for
this
that one?
This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Can't remember. Nah, right, we'll leave it. Okay, this time we go through the right door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
you take the bucket, you
lounge
can't get to the
first,
doors.
just
Okay.
to admire it.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. That sounded a bit like GLaDOS there. Thank you for letting me know. The employee lounge
Stanley
is an
felt
impeccable
lightheaded,
room.
butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to
You're saying-
business.
saying
Stanley
no buckets.
took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it.
Okay.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Okay, so we went through the blue
now
door.
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
The large.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley? All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Yeah, it's
You
nothing.
see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this
Right, let
what
me
you
just
wanted?
watch the leaderboards.
Was it
Okay.
worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me
Let's give him
about
a
your
5 this
experience
time.
with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
Okay.
And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay, so we watched the leaderboard. Okay, let's just stand. We'll just
Now,
watch it.
would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again,
That's a Scottish flag.
honest answers, please.
Do we just watch it? I'm probably like last. Way last. Yeah, that's... 98.9% of players are more attractive than Stanley. How dare you? Right, so we just keep watching it? Or what do we do now? Should just go through any of the either of them? Is there a specific one? Which one should we go through? I'll go through the left one. Hi, Spacey. Yeah, I'm still here. Oh, not this again. What? I've got to do all that again. That one doesn't like me. Right, if I... What was it? You load... Quit the game? And then... You aren't meant to get this? I figured it was bug when the dialogue triggered too soon. It triggered too soon. 2 more transfers for me, I'm tired. Oh god, you must be exhausted. You must be near the end now, right? Then close and load another 2 times. Oh. What? again. It's 10. It could actually be 12 o'clock right now, guys. 12 o'clock somewhere. Well, it's 2 now, but fuck it. Close and reopen again. Okay. I think you guys are enjoying this, like, way more than I am. I like it, though. I don't think I'll stream this a lot of times, so I think this will probably just be it, because we've seen, like... Wait, we have to get this blue door, red door one, at least. Some oddball here is opening and closing train doors and taking pictures of it. Try and find all the Stanley figures, yeah. Which of the two made-up words is most appealing to you? Occuboinkle or Scrumtush? Occuboinkle. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. 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 Play the demo. It's super quick. Right. Should we try this one again?
This is... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I got an achievement. Welcome
Stanley
back.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, let's try the blue door, red door again. And we went in the left door, so don't...
When Stanley came to a set of two
Like the
open
left
doors,
door
this was not
after
the
the-
correct way to
after
the
the
meeting
window
room,
3
and
doors.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
I got an
it.
achievement, so that might have been it.
Yes, truly a
I'm on audio
room worth
only, but I can
admiring,
guess what
but
you've done just
eager to get
now.
back to
I'm
business,
so glad.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Sure, Ryan, just tell me. I can't really be bothered scouting the map for
Stanley
them,
was
so just
so
tell me where
bad
they
at
are.
following directions. It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I said they're on the whiteboard, the ones I have, but I think one of them's probably in the
Look,
bathroom.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
There's
off
one
on the
more
wrong
reset.
foot
Okay,
here.
we'll do that in a minute.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that
Mike
convinced
said it
that
was
I want something
bugged. Do you
bad
think
to
it's
happen to
gonna
you?
always be
What?
bugged, or maybe
I
it
don't know
helps
how
with the
to
reset?
convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove
What do you think of
that
this
I'm
game?
on
I think
your
it's
side. Give me a chance.
not for
Now, listen
everyone.
carefully, this is important.
Not for
Stanley
everyone.
walked through the red door.
I think if you sort of like enjoy...
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley.
Might have to reset
You want
for
to know
this.
so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road?
We'll do a different ending,
Well, don't
though.
let me stop you.
Wait, with it, see that one with the number 3? Maybe if
see?
we, can we do that
There's
one
nothing
without the
here.
bucket and there's maybe a
Haven't
different...
even finished building this section of the map
It's
because
very
you were never
wordy.
supposed to be
Yeah.
here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what
I
you
enjoy it, though.
wanted?
I'm enjoying this.
Was it worth ruining the
may
entire
not seem like
story
I
I'd
am, but I
written out
am.
specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to
Endings
see.
with or without the bucket.
Help me
okay.
here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours.
I would like to be strange
what
and
would have
unknowable.
made this game better? What did you want to see?
If you do that one without the bucket, it's
Skill
happy instead of
trees?
sad.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
If you do that, I like it, but I've seen it all, not played it.
Option.
Oh, yeah,
This
you've watched a
already
video,
feels
yeah.
leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Don't worry, Twiddly, I'm reading your mind.
One? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the
Right,
park.
we'll try the
with this
middle
one.
door, and if
Let's
this doesn't
take a
work,
look.
then it's buggered. We watch this. And the text didn't trigger. I think this one might be buggered. Let's go in the middle door. And watch as absolutely... Oh. Back.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Oh.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
Fuck?
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family
Is there not
life.
an anal cunt
I
song
think
called
the
this, like, I Let Your
artwork
Baby on
will
Fire?
really
That used
take
to...
notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
4 hours?
Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas.
The baby's loving
I
it. Look
can't
at him.
think of a single
He's
thing
loving
that
it.
might improve the
Or
experience
she.
for me.
She's loving it.
I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
Good.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Let's play Skyrim.
Let's see.
Persona
What do we
3.
have here?
2 games. Mario 64.
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Stanley Parable. Right, there we go. We got to burn... Oh.
Aha! Fascinating.
This is
What do you
not
think
what
this
I was
game's about,
expecting.
Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Rock Alaska.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower.
Oh,
Perhaps
yeah.
for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity.
4 hours
so
of the
far,
baby
I love
game.
everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
That's the Minecraft door sound effect. Dude, this is totally my dream job. What are you talking about? This is my actual favourite ending. Oh yeah. What do you mean spying on civilians? This is the middle of the forest. There's no one here.
No, it can't be.
What? Hell yeah.
It is. It's an open world game.
Oh,
Good God,
no.
quickly block it off.
Ugh.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that That thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any...
This looks lovely. I would totally play
Thank
this.
heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Skyrim.
Preferably something
Skyrim.
with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Skyrim.
Okay, I think this...
As a Xenoblade fan, I'm offended? Yeah, don't worry, I like Xenoblade 2. I also enjoy Xenoblade, not Xenoblade 2,
Wonderful.
the game.
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Is this fucking Rocket League or something?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes,
Touchdown.
I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Sorry. Okay.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Look,
I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
Let me just tell you about the balls that have brought me the most enjoyment.
Oh, goodness,
Anonymous.
that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Look, someone laugh at the balls comment. That was funny.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game?
Is this a real video game?
Well, I
Can
sure
one
hope
of
you're
you
having a
FIFA
good
players
time,
tell
because
me?
guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes.
This is a hit. Are we still playing the Stanley Parable? Is this the same game?
You need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around
Oh my
to set
god.
the rules.
We'll jump into the goal.
I don't think you'll
Yeah, they're in
enjoy
time.
it as much.
By the time he stops
but who
talking.
knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come
My
up with
freaking
something. After all,
dark
you're
place.
the
I'm
one
gonna make
who
that
knows
in a
best.
sound effect.
Take care, Stanley. Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me?
How
You
long
can't do it. You
is
know
this the
that.
same
Stanley.
game? Where do I go now? Ooh! The setting was different in base. That bit in Dark Place where he's like, bye. Good gravy. I beg your pudding. Exclamation point, bye. I'm gonna make it soon. Exclamation point, die as well. Alright then. Fatty. Adopted fatty. Fatty. No parents. Die. Is this the one you just go back to your office and there's nowhere else to go? I beg your pudding. Yeah, it's just... I know the games and reference were different, but there was more different.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
Sure.
He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
But I love chaos and fear and
Very
confusion and madness.
I can wait.
And nonsense. I love it. Okay. What's next?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yes, let's go get the figures.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
E.T., what is the meaning of this? Just received this memo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
Yeah,
on his
enjoy
left.
yourself, Ryan. Thank you for coming into this stream. A large room, lots of boxes. Stairs. Something to do with stairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ah.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come
Figlies.
to me.
I like Stanlerines. Right, and then it was like a private place for an important person. Well, that's got to be a bathroom. Boss's bathroom.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlerines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one.
A
and
room
then
full
the
of
first
boxes?
number
I'm not
will
sure where
equal
that
the
is.
second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have
Boxes?
none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler
The room
Anlerines.
with all the
None
where
of
you
us
can jump off the platform, I guess. Extreme bathrooms and Time magazine. The warehouse don't use the lift or the catwalk. Yeah, okay. Cloud boy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I am playing a game
Stanley
tomorrow, guys,
decided to
called
go to the meeting room.
Press X to
Perhaps
Not
he had
Die.
simply missed a memo.
And then on the weekend, I'm going back to the usual Smash shenanigans. So stick around for Smash Ultimate.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct
But it's been
way
so
to the
fun,
meeting
like,
room,
playing
and
different
Stanley knew it
games, because I am a
perfectly
variety
well.
streamer at heart,
Perhaps
always
he
will
wanted
be.
to stop by the employee lounge
and always
first,
have been.
just to admire it.
But it's been super fun to play,
Wow.
like,
Yes,
Portal.
this
I had never
room.
played
But
Portal
eager to
until,
get back to business,
like, last
Stanley
week.
took the first open door
Portal
on
1
his
and
left.
2. I loved it, and I'd never played this before either.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Here's... To the left. I feel like I saw it there just a second ago. Aha! Right, use the... Aye.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
I want to know
Savor
your
this moment,
opinions on your
Stanley.
FIFA team as
This
someone who
is
has
a
no clue
real
about FIFA.
accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Okay.
Where so many people
Thank you, Mike.
expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay, are you gonna send it to me in Discord, or are you just gonna tell me here, Twiddly, what's...
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch
means
a
absolutely
movie
nothing to me,
where it
Twiddly.
turns
You're gonna
out
have to
all
explain
to
it.
be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely
where's David
bolt off the
Beckham?
couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate
Why is Wayne
storytelling.
Rooney not on there?
It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Okay. It's like the best version of every Arsenal player other than one of the centre backs. Yeah, but aren't Arsenal shite? Or... something?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figlets.
Oh, that messed with my... Oh, that made me feel
about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with
Are they?
richness?
I don't know.
Yes,
They've got the word arse in their name. How can they not be
But
shy?
would you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Bring the bucket to the white void. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that one next. Do people want me to keep on streaming this? Because I'd only planned to stream this once. I thought you could kind of finish this. I was a bit naive. Because as I said, I had never played this. So I had no idea what it was about.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Well, I would like to also know what you guys want to see as well.
And here was the second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own just by poking around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them.
How's it
let alone
going?
6. But you
With all the
continued
mad
to surprise
wingdings
me in
symbols.
all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I think it was this one.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here by the red.
Oh, that counts over 6, I know.
It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory.
This game is like, I did not expect it to be anything like that. This is just completely...
tells us that it's impossible to
completely
forget
fucked
your
my
third
brain.
time doing anything.
96. That's when you start bashing
Let's
butts.
see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't
didn't.
actually say I
Oh,
remember
this is my
being
dream
in this
room,
but
obviously.
it's here in
This
the
room is so
memory
me.
zone, so it must have happened.
It must have happened. 'Cause... game is such a mindfuck.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the boss's bathroom. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What is this? No, we need Linkin Park. This was just Windows Movie Maker. This is just Windows Movie Maker! Or even like the shitty video quality. Oh my god. God, that was pain!
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
I bet like this stream should have only been 8 minutes long. If I could finish a game in 8 minutes, then it'd be a very short game.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more. Because we
that's creepy, that's
the present
trippy.
moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
That was very long.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that
It's
feels.
about to get longer, thank you, mate. Oh no.
Okay, yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind.
13
Let's
now.
keep going. I want more.
Back to that pink room. Apparently. Oh no, the bathroom. If I have to watch that fucking video again.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
It's just the longest fucking ending ever.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though.
Yeah, I love it's like
fine room.
15 out of 6 now. We have even more figures now.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
So trippy. This game is absolutely not. I had no idea what to expect going into this, and I'm glad I had no expectations because
This was our second
it met
figure.
absolutely
Don't you
none of them
remember?
because I
Yes,
had none.
I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collectibles. Very dim-looking Stanley.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, oh yes, the two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Which one did I go through? Bailey's the same.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go.
Huh?
I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship.
No, you did say.
Make for a wonderful companion,
I didn't understand though.
But
thank you for the tips, by the way, Mike. I appreciate
old.
it.
I want to think for myself again.
I should really stream Tekken again soon.
To how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore.
Welcome back to Cheeseland, Space Dark.
It truly was so much
Sending
fun
you
to play
recovery
with.
vibes from your journey.
What? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oof.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think I'm done actually with this. I know we've not seen everything the game has to offer, but
when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I think I'm done with this.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That's what I got to with it. That
Stepping
ending
into
we just
his
did now.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story.
I don't know if I'm bothered with getting every single ending, but let's do one more.
He didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
That music's just vaporwave. That is vaporwave. There's also the epilogue.
And rejuvenated,
I will have to do that one as well at some point, won't we?
Forward into the opened passageway.
We'll have to do the epilogue as well, won't we? How do we get to the epilogue? You mean this game has an end?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now?
I go left
when for
if you've yet
years
to.
It had never occurred to him.
Gotta restart the game one more
This
time.
question would not go unanswered for long.
I want to... Wait.
Stanley
I
walked
want to
straight
try
ahead
something.
through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll do that.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points,
very
one
talkative,
after the
isn't he?
other,
Very wordy.
weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the
Oh, hey,
elevator
Rob,
and
how's it
down
going?
again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Although
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Nope. I think I'm done with this soon.
Did you think we were going to go forward?
As I
down
said,
the
tomorrow we're going to play
spooky
that
corridor?
daft game, that
No.
Press X to Not Die,
It's
which
time
again,
once
it's
again
another
to go
another
back
game I know
up
I'm
in the
talking about.
elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
How have you been finding this? Very interesting. It's not really like any other game I've ever played, isn't it? It's very wordy. And I can see that this game is not for everyone. A lot of people probably would find this very...
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything.
I know
for
you
me.
probably ignored it, wouldn't
Give me
you?
a time out here for a minute while I process this.
I think it was. I don't know.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
I'm glad that Press X was cheap, so I won't feel too bad if you don't enjoy it. Well, it just looks really weird and wacky, and I like a weird, wacky game, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. As I said, I'm trying to get through my list of games,
All right.
especially my Steam
I
library.
have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley. Of course, going back down in the elevator. How
You're
did I not
fortune for our
anticipate
subs,
it?
it's fine.
I mean, sure, now it's
speaking of,
obvious,
I don't,
but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago,
to check
this
something
kind
that's
of
got a
thing had never
revenue
been
thing.
attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how
should actually
revelatory
look.
Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Payouts. Well, I don't know if that's going to log me out. I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later. Maybe I want to go and lift again.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator, but the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious. So
As always,
fleeting.
all subs
Why
are
don't
always
we take this
appreciated, guys.
elevator ride
They've been
nice
very generous with the
and
subs lately, so it's been
slow?
super awesome. I'm really thankful for that.
There we go.
You only make
Isn't
when
this
you.
so
I think you only
much
get a
more
certain amount from
exciting,
Twitch before you
Stanley?
get paid
it
out.
Seems like nowadays the
You get
only
something. I
thing
think you've
that
got to earn like
audiences want is to be
$100
shocked as loudly
before they
and
pay you?
frequently as possible. They want
something, I
big,
don't know.
explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual
But the
reveal?
secret ingredient
This
is love.
storytelling,
Damn it.
Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it.
Your
This is
campaign
unique
offers
and
for me
different.
are in
It's not
Final
like
Fantasy
anything
15
else out
is-
there. You
What?
see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to.
Oh, not
We're
doing this
being
now.
fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know?
I don't have
People
a sugar
look up
daddy.
to you.
I've never had a sugar
Which is
daddy. If
why
I wanted a sugar daddy,
thank you
yes,
for the
I
gift
probably could go
subs.
out and get one because I am what?
I've gathered a
Sickening.
little
You could
press
never have a sugar daddy because you
so
are
that
not
you
that
could
kind
talk
of girl.
about your
Baby,
work and
everything
your
I've had, I worked
storytelling
for,
and
and
your
I've gotten
life.
myself. I
Yes,
built
I
myself
know
from the
you're
ground
not
up.
much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who've been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you,
Thank
Stanley.
you.
I don't know if you realize
Thank you so
the
much, Rob, for the
impact
gift
you
up
have
to
on them.
Spy.
This is
Enjoy
the
your King
kind
Dice
of
emote and a bunch of all the other
gesture that might
emotes, and
leave a
access to the
tremendous
special sub
impact on
channel in
them
the
for
server and a purple
better.
roll.
Oh, good, we're here.
Enjoy yourself.
Okay, the room where we're holding the
Thank
press
you so
conference
much.
should be
You're
just around
kind.
the corner here somewhere.
That puts me almost at 40 subs. That's to say, that's the most I've ever had. Most I've ever had. It's insanity.
Ah, yes.
Crazy.
Here it
Thank you
is,
so much.
Just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling.
Can we get
and
a
what it
narrator
means
to do the
craft
sugar
a
daddy
truly
rant for us?
unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great.
Yeah,
Just
Spy
be
has been
yourself
super
and
regular
speak
lately.
from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
Oh God, can you just be quiet a second? Can you just
It
shut
looks
up a
like
second,
they're ready
please?
for you. Go get 'em.
Hell yeah! I was happy to hear the sub rant to shut him up. Wait, how many are you on now? I'm on 37 just now. Sorry, that was quite loud. Different.
All of his co-workers were gone.
This is not my
What could
office.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What?
I don't have a sugar daddy. I've
What are
never
you
had a
doing?
sugar daddy. If I wanted a sugar daddy, yes, I probably could go out and
Totally,
get one
what are you
because I am
doing?
what? Sickening. You could never have a
Why?
sugar daddy
Why?
because you are not that kind of girl. Baby, everything I've had, I've worked for, and I've gotten myself. I built myself from the ground up.
What are you doing, Twiddly, please? Thank you. Gifting us up proppy.
You
Not in Max. Is this at the whiteboard ending?
I don't have a sugar daddy. I've never had a sugar daddy. If I wanted a sugar daddy, yes, I probably could go out and get one
Right.
because I am what?
Exit and then
you
come
could
back
never have
out.
a sugar daddy because you are not that kind of girl. Baby, everything I've had, I've worked for, and I've
You
gotten
guys are too
myself. I
gay,
built myself from the
stop.
ground up.
Fucking bitch.
No.
Oh yeah, the hype train. That was the only hype train I've ever had. It was so awesome. Guys, stop!
I don't have a sugar daddy. I've never had a sugar daddy. If I wanted a sugar daddy, yes, I probably could go out and get one because I am what? Sickening. You could never have a sugar daddy because you are not that kind of girl.
Hey,
Baby,
please.
everything I've had, I've worked for, and I've gotten myself. I built myself from the ground up.
Great, gifting the subs to Jazz and Sonic, Kevin and Colt and Fox.
No.
Oh my god, guys, stop! Please, a hype
I don't
train.
have a sugar daddy. I've never had a sugar daddy. If I wanted a sugar daddy, yes, I probably could go out and get one
Okay,
because I am
awesome.
what? Sickening.
Thank
you
you
could
so
never have a
much.
sugar daddy because you are not that kind of girl. Baby, everything I've had, I've worked for, and I've gotten myself. I built myself from the ground up.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what you guys are doing. It's just the Stanley parable.
I don't have a sugar daddy. I've never had a sugar daddy.
Level
If I
3
wanted a
hype
sugar
train?
daddy, yes, I probably could go out and get one
Yes.
because I am
I
what?
think that was the first-
Sickening.
the
You
first
could
one
never
was
have a
also-
sugar
that's
daddy
the
because you are
second
not
hype
that
train
kind
I've
of girl.
ever had.
Baby, everything I've had, I've worked for, and I've gotten myself. I built myself from the ground up.
I was watching a stream once their sub notification was 35 seconds long. Someone came in and dropped 160 gift subs. It went on for 45 minutes.
I
You
don't
can
have a
turn it
sugar
off.
daddy.
I
I've
can
never
actually
had
just
a
turn it
sugar daddy.
off.
If I wanted a sugar daddy,
Yeah, I can shut her up. Shangela can be quiet now. Yeah, there's no, yeah. I think mine is too long. The fucking sub alert is like, but it's like iconic now.
This is the story of a man named...
Right, so we skipped the game. We did one more reset. What happens now?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, the epilogue, hang on.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms.
Warmth spread
With the bucket in his arms again.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna try
Stanley
something.
clung the bucket to
What
his
happens
cheek.
if I take the bucket out with
Could
me
his
like this?
co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone.
You guys are awesome.
Now,
Hype trains and subs and everything. You guys are the best. I have the best community ever, and I don't know what I did to deserve it, but you guys make me fucking cry. I love it, and I love you all very, very much.
Of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger.
Go team!
Of hope
Go
and
team!
redemption, and its
Great, you remember that
crusade
bit in
to
Black
uplift the
Books
stock of
where
life for the
Simon
common
Pegg's
man,
character
to
is like the
manifest
guy who
justice
runs the
where none
bookshop?
existed,
If you ever saw
and the
Black, anyone else who saw
bittersweet
Black
reality of
Books,
time, to see one's
he's always like,
dreams
"Go
and wishes met
team!"
halfway, meted
How
out
could
in
we approach
parcels
this as a
like charity,
team?
and abandoned as soon as the warm
That's
glow
like
of inspiration
that was like my
begins to
entire
dim.
master's degree. So I'd be like, how can we do this as a
opportunities to do so
team?
much
We're a
more.
team player
There
because I
was
did
so
like business.
much it could
I
have
did
done,
HR
perhaps,
and like
the bucket wondered
management
to
and stuff.
itself.
HR management.
Perhaps if it had seen
So it was
its
very
own
much like we're
darkness
we're
with a
top
clearer
players.
perception.
How can we approach this as a
This was
team?
way too
My
much
son
for
still calls me
Stanley.
Bernard.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
How closely
You're
do
a
you resemble
bucket!
Bernard Black?
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No.
Said the bucket.
What are you going to
Not
do?
since
I
the
will
evil
drink
wizard
heavily and shout at you.
Gamharata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred
Not at
amulet
all.
I stole from his treasured vaults. I was
Up with
young
this, I
back
will not
then
put.
and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
What is
Stanley
going
screamed even
on?
louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket!
Is it sub gift or use bits to get to the next level? Yeah, but what even happens? What's the highest level of a hype train? I don't know.
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley.
What the fuck?
You did
What the
it.
fuck?
You saved us from the bucket. Thank
You're entertaining.
God you
Thank you,
already
Spy.
had all 12 emblems of sages and
burn
knew
it,
the incantations to summon their true power.
Burn it, look,
Otherwise,
I'm a
we
robot
would have
prostitute from the
easily been
future.
overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery
Christ, this
here
narrator
today.
talks a
Come,
lot.
Let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Welp. Right, okay. The epilogue. That's a new way of saying the word epilogue. Oh, yeah! Enjoy your hype train emotes, guys. It's all down to you. You guys make this what the place that it is. Hey, it's June. You guys see the film June? Dune? June? Like, the sand dune. A sand dune. Because for me, I'm Scottish, I say like June. Get some tunes playing. Get some tunes. Not get some tunes. Tunes. No, it's tunes. My Knut is laughing at Still Game with the wee Ned guy, and he'd be like the politician, the mayor, the guy, the councillor, was always like, "It's a great pleasure to be standing here in front of this centre in Craig Lang." And it's like, "Oh, it's me. No, you don't. No, you're not. You speak weird. What are you talking about?" No, you didn't. It's a bit loud. Oh, hang on.
Hey, you. You want to try me, Gov?
What? Turn it down. Is that better? That better? When you're young, you laugh at the voice. When you're older, you realise that Ned was the hero of the people. No, you don't. No, it isn't. Okay, good. What a strange game. What's that Dog the Bounty Hunter meme? You had a meme on your Facebook and it was Dog the Bounty Hunter. I don't get it, but I'm gonna laugh anyway. I don't get it. Hey you! You wanna try me, Gav? Let's play some Tekken soon, guys. We gotta stream some Tekken. Also, I fucking forgot to add Space Channel 5 Part 2 to my schedule. Because it was requested by Siren again, and Siren requests good games. So I'm glad people are enjoying this. It's been really good lately. It's been awesome. Jim. I think Press S is very short. I can't remember. You might be able to do Space Channel 5 tomorrow. Okay. I think I request good games. Well, like Final Fantasy 15. That was a sub reward like thing, and now I have so many. I'm like, I don't know what to do with them now. And that Sonic thing. What Sonic thing? What Sonic thing? The racing one? Sonic R? Oh yeah. No. The best game ever. Yes, fantastic. There was a special button there. We can hear extra gems. Stanley. Stanley. Ooh! Anyone here named Jim? Or James? There's like 6 Sonic... Oh yeah, Sonic Riders as well. Yeah, I didn't really like Sonic Riders. There's 9. Hello again. Hello. Nice to see you too. No, I don't think we want a Stanley Parable 2. What possible gameplay even is there? Oh no! Oh no! All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Okay, I'll tell you. The Stanley Parable 3 Rising. Because Rising is the most overused word in video game sequels. The Stanley Parable 3. The... Oh. The pantry. The pantry. No. I just want the destruction of chemicals It's either me or the... The end is never the pantry. I don't know, I just want the deadly pantry. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1 and it will pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. Let's see. Sonic Drift 2, Sonic R, Sonic Rider Zero Gravity, Sonic Sega All-Star, Sonic Free Rider, Sonic Racing... Yeah, they're all boring. I've played Sonic Drift and Sonic Drift 2. They suck. Gotta play the Stanley Parable 8. Is this game like a joke? Do people think this is like a horror game? Because it's actually quite funny. It's 11:17, which means I better be going to bed soon. Deadly pantry. Oh my god. 8 is the best sequel. Let's see, if we load it up again, does it come up with like the Stanley Parable 4? Right, who are we gonna go raid? Who can we go raid? The achievement machine works now. Good. Stanley Parable 4. The final... No. Stanley versus... No. Return to... No. Half employee, half swimming pool. The Stanley Parable 4. I just came back to see what's happening with Tim Allen. Oh, I'll request it for you. Oh no, someone's done it! Thank you, Spaghetti, for the Tim Allen. I've put a cooldown on it now. You can't spam it anymore, I'm sorry.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
E.T., what is the meaning of this? I've just received this memo. What is this, E.T.? Some kind of sick joke.
The door on his left.
New content. Right, well, I think we're going to call it that. I have no idea what else to do, so I know we've not done all the endings. But let's go find someone to raid, shall we? Let's oh shit, let's go find somebody to raid.
Fatty, adopted Fatty, no parents.
I love the little GLaDOS at the end, like, and... Right, who's on? Celestro. I think I'll go raid Soul. He's playing Dead Island 2. Or we can raid Lemmy. Or Suni. Playing Final Fantasy 9. Let's go raid Soul. I haven't rated him in a bit. I don't think I've actually ever rated him. Thank you guys for watching this, for enjoying the Stanley Parable with me as much as I enjoyed it. Very strange game. Very wordy, very interesting. Definitely not for everyone. Very interesting game. I'm very glad to have played it. I am not sure I'll do it again. I think we kind of... I know we didn't do absolutely everything, but we did a lot. I'm going to send you guys over to Celestro. We'll get the demo as well. Is the demo on Steam? I'm assuming it is. We'll play the demo as well. Tomorrow is going to be press X to not die, and if I have time for it, we're going to do Space Channel 5 before we go back to our normal Smash nonsense. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight, and I will see you all very soon.
Corrected.